God damn.
Man, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to another edition of NHP. Welcome back to another edition of Unscripted. This is episode 274 of Unscripted, man. And as we are on here with yet again another edition for you guys, man. We have some interesting episodes of TV to talk about, man. We finally found out some of these mystery last time is now tournament opponents, as well as AEW's Blood and Guts from this past Wednesday. So we have all that to talk about here today on Unscripted, man. As also, man, we are down to 2 dates.
Damn dates, dude. That's crazy, man. No more Cena on weekly television ever again. Well, as a wrestler.
Man. And we have to talk about a episode of Raw from MSG that was pretty good, I will say. It was one of the better episodes of Raw that they've done. It was there was little bullshit on the show, which I can appreciate. Mainly everything on the show had an actual sensible reason to be there. So I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that a lot, as there was no New Day on the show. There was no, even the Judgment Day stuff actually played into stuff that was actually useful. Still no LA Knight on the show. However, most of the stuff on the show was actually, again, had a reason to be there. So that I can appreciate. Man. But with that being said, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, every Tuesday, we are on here with NHP Unscripted at 12 p.m. Central. And every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news and for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW. We are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review. Speaking of which, we will be live this Saturday night for AEW's Full Gear, which looks very unflattering, may I say. It looks,
Here.
how the fuck did Forbidden Door end up being a good show, yet Full Gear is looking the way it is? Not impressed.
No, I'm really not impressed by Full Gear this year. AEW was doing really good in the middle of the year with their pay-per-views. They were doing really good, and now it's really just the most randomly put together cards humanly possible. And Full Gear, at least the card looks pretty disappointing. We'll be there, and I'm sure it will be fun when we're watching. But the card itself looks pretty underwhelming, if I do say so myself.
Very much so. Very much so. So we definitely are in agreement there. So we will be live for Full Gear this Saturday, man. Just finished up all the graphics for that, so hopefully you guys do enjoy those. But yeah, so Full Gear, we will be live for it this upcoming Saturday, man. So stay tuned for that. If this is your first time watching, and oh well, my bad. With that, if you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live Friday, 3 p.m. Central with the news. Speaking of Friday, the way it's looking so far, we will be live for another noon episode of the news, man. So this will not be at 3 p.m. Central. We will be live at noon instead. So the way it's looking so far, like I said, if anything changes, we will let you know. And then we will be live at our regular 3 p.m. Central. The way it's looking, we will be live at 12 p.m. Central on Friday. So just keep you guys in the loop for that. But yes, if you guys did miss this past Friday's episode of the news, the Chicago Chamber has been announced. The same Chicago Chamber that tickets go on sale for pre-sale tomorrow. So, my guys, we definitely have to be in chat. Yes, we definitely have to be in contact for that. So, yeah. So, hopefully, by the time we talk to you guys Friday, we will be ticketed up men that will be ready to party at the United Center on February 28th, man. So, yes, but Logan, Gotti, we definitely we have to be in contact for that. So we will get into contact shortly after we are done going live. But yes, and with that, man, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find this beautiful piece of Notorious Heels merchandise live on there as we speak, man. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, where you can find this beautiful piece of merchandise live, like I said, now as we speak, man. So, with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man, Sir K here. Sir K, tell the people what it is you are smiling about today. Please tell us what you're smiling about today.
Man, there's a lot to smile about, man. Raw has been fun. It has been. It might have just been Cena, but we'll get to that. So hopefully it just wasn't a Cena thing that was making Raw really good, and we'll see next week. But a lot of some good news today. And tickets go on sale tomorrow, dude. I'm very excited. Well, financially very,
Worried.
nervous about tomorrow, but excited nonetheless. And it's got to be done, dude. It's got to be done. This is the UC first pay-per-view in fucking 30 years, whatever, at the UC. It's about to go crazy. It's about to be a movie. I'm excited. A lot to smile about, man. And I'm smiling with you guys here, man. So I'm excited to talk about Raw, talk about like probably the two usual things for SmackDown, and then blood and guts, man. So overall, it's been a good week, man. Hopefully full gear, and hopefully Survivor Series. These next 2 weekends are going to be good. But other than that, I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Your boy is damn near back to normal. There is just a bit of dryness in my throat that will not go away. For some ungodly reason, that shit is hanging on to that shit is hanging on to relevancy like Chris Jericho, bro. But however, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Like I said, I felt normal for the past for a while. It's really just, man, it will not go away, man. It is really hanging on. But with that being said, yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Like you said, excited but nervous for the Elimination Chamber again. So tickets go on sale tomorrow, so my bank account is definitely sweating for this whole TKO thing, but hopefully everything goes safe and sound, man. Hopefully everything goes safe and sound. We can only hope, right? But yeah, other than that, man, I'm doing good. And that's pretty much about it, man. Like I said, we got Full Gear coming up, so that's exciting. But the big thing is Elimination Chamber, man. Will we get our tickets, man? I don't know. I'm interested to see how tickets sell. I'm very interested to see how tickets sell. I wonder if tickets are going to fly,
feel-
if you
I feel
will.
like
Or
they're gonna fly.
think so? You think so?
I think so. It's the UC. It's Chicago. Chicago kind of always sells, and we're getting Chamber. That's one of their biggest pay-per-views, and it's in the UC. Oh man, I think we're gonna see a bunch of disappearing blue dots at 9 in the morning tomorrow.
Well, golly, bro. Golly. So yes. So I'm interested. I'm interested. Yet nervous to see how that whole thing goes. But um, yeah. As for you guys, Gotti says this is the first premium live event at the UC since the '80s, unless that tweet lied to him. So you might be right on the pay-per-view part, but I do believe they were in the United Center for a show in the 90s. I'm not sure if it was a pay-per-view or not. You might be right about the pay-per-view part. But I know the last time they were there in general was 2018 for a live event, untelevised live event. They were there in 2018. I think that was like the Road to WrestleMania 34 tour. They were there. But I believe they did hold a televised show there the last time in the 90s. But you could be right about the pay-per-view part, because I don't think the last time they were there televised it was a pay-per-view. So you might be right. You might be right, man. But as for you guys, how are you guys doing? We got, or as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, OG, Manager Logan, like I said. And we have the owner of GDR Finances LLC. We have Mr. Walk 'em down and cut they shiz off. Mr. Walk 'em down and cook that shit up. Mr. Walk 'em down and run that marathon. Gotti Devon is in the house. We got my guy Gotti. How the hell are you, bro? Thank you for joining us. As always, man, yes, Rumble is in Saudi, man. So they're going to Saudi and then they're coming to Chicago. Probably.
Fucking, what a path.
Yeah, it's very weird the way they did it.
Yeah, Rumble or Saudi, Chicago, Vegas. That's a fucking interesting tour for them guys to go on.
It really
Hey,
is.
you're not fucking traveling across the fucking world.
Yeah, I don't know. I fully expected them to just keep it international all the way, damn near all the way a couple weeks up until WrestleMania. That's what I expected.
Yeah, I expected that too. I thought for sure Chamber was going to be some type of European pay-per-view.
Yes, well, especially once they said Italy in early 2026, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Chambers probably going to Italy then. But then again, this is TKO, and we probably are, at least what I'm thinking, they probably didn't want to ship the Chamber to Italy. They'd rather just keep it in the States. Probably.
Oh boy, I could see it. I could definitely see not wanting to move that cage around the world, just around the country, man. Because I mean, they probably just take it in some semis. I'm sure that would be so difficult to get that overseas.
This is true. Well, I guess they did it for Australia a couple years ago, so.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. I mean, Tony
They
Khan wasn't able to ship a ring,
they
so
probably
I mean,
it's not that they can't do it, they probably don't like to do it.
want
Is
to
probably
pay
what it
because
is. Yeah. Yep.
exactly. They don't want to pay the shipping fees.
Exactly. Exactly. Um well, at least you're getting your workout in, Gotti. Think about it like that.
Exactly.
So, we're going to start you guys off here today with everybody's favorite weekly show of the week. I know it's Sir K's favorite weekly show of the week. Wabam! There it is. You see it on your screen. AEW Dynamite. Blood and Guts. You know, I could say this. The Blood and Guts matches to me this year, I wasn't really a fan of. Not going into them, I wasn't really a fan of them. Only because I didn't like the teams. I didn't like the teams that they put together. However, obviously I'd be lying to say they didn't turn out good matches. Of course they turned out good matches. Just wasn't really invested in what they had going on, team-wise.
Exactly, man. Overall, I wasn't excited going in. I mean, I think if you're looking at both War Games matches for both companies, this is probably the most lackluster build up for both. If I'm being honest, I really don't care for either team in either fucking company's War Game matches. But overall, I think they produced good blood and guts matches. I overall like both of them. I think the women's definitely was really good, and I like that. I just like how hard they went. They went real hard and it was real good. And the men's was cool. I like the ending and I like the story it's telling for Mox, obviously. That's like been it's always just Hangman. And then whatever, story they got around the Death Riders, Mox and Darby are the only parts of fucking AEW you care about right now. And of course, those are some of the best parts, but women always kill it. And the women's one was really fucking good, man. I really liked it. And then the production to both of the Blood and Guts matches, I think Tony Khan really, really fucking knocked it out of the park for this one, man. I love the production this year of Blood and Guts. I love the Tony Khan lights inside the cage. I loved it for that lights out match with Hangman and Swerve. I think that's when the last time they did it, and they put those fucking like ceiling lights in Blood and Guts, and dude, I love the way it looks, dude. Like the lights beaming down, like you're inside of like a prison. I think it's dope, dude. I love the production they did. I love like the white bloodstained graphics they do for Blood and Guts, and I just think they produced it very well overall for Blood and Guts, man, which is really good to see because usually that's Tony Khan's number one problem is production. But here for Blood and Guts, I think he really nailed that shit out the park.
Yeah, that was one thing. That was one thing I noticed huge this year too. Was the difference in production as to previous years. Justin Roberts, when he announced the matches were taking place, was standing on the stage with a spotlight, and you can see, the War Games cage behind him. I thought they did I thought they did the pyro great. They had some red lighting that was like beaming down on the cage. It just gave it a very just dastardly feel. So I really appreciated that. As well as one of the other things that I like the most, Sir K talked a little bit about it, but these fluorescent, tube lights that were on the side of the cage, and they're bright white. They're the bright white lights, and they beam on the cage really well. I thought it, obviously, for TV purposes, I thought it illuminated the cage really nicely. But like Sir K said, it also gave it like watchtower lights almost were beaming down on the cage, almost made it feel like you're imprisoned, inside of the cage. And like I said, for TV purposes, I'm sure it made lighting a lot better. And overall, I actually like AEW's War Games cage a lot better than I like WWE's War Games cage. I mean, every year we get the spot, where somebody, gets on top of the cage and jumps off of the top of the cage, and it's like, oh, yippee-ki-yay. But AEW's has a roof on it. You know what I mean? So it feels more imprisoned. And obviously, it's a little bit different to WWE's. WWE's, you can't go out of the cage or else you surrender, which that is an aspect I actually do like of WWE's. But I also do like the difference in AEW's. I like both. I like both. I think it obviously makes them different. It differentiates them from one another. And I like AEW's as well, where you can go out of the cage and whatnot, and you can actually go on top of the cage. So I do like that aspect a lot as well. But both of them are unique in their own right. Again, one thing that just it can feel a bit formulaic at times with WWE. Again, I don't mind somebody going to the top of the cage and jumping off of it. It just feels like, we gotta at least. It feels like WWE feels obligated to do at least one or two spots where, Logan Paul is jumping off the cage, and then there comes Cody Rhodes to do his fucking backflip off the top of the cage. It feels like, every year somebody's and we get two of them a year with WWE, so it feels like somebody's always obligated to jump off the top of the cage, which I don't really like personally. It should feel like war. It should feel like these guys are in there to kill each other, not so it feels mandatory to jump off the top of the cage. So, and then obviously one thing that I love about AEW's Blood and Guts over WWE's War Games is it has a little bit more of a war atmosphere, because by the time the matches are done, these people look half dead. Okay, they're all covered in dried up blood. That they look like they just been through hell. The only thing that AEW needs to do is excuse me, get better at building these, get better at making these actually feel like these matches are warranted. The first couple of years I thought they did a great job at that. We got the Elite and the Inner Circle, which is the greatest Blood and Guts match that never happened. There was that warranted Blood and Guts. That was a huge feud at the time, the Elite and the Inner Circle. You then had the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. That felt like two teams that needed to go to war, right? We got the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club a couple years ago. That was a great one. again, two teams that were feuding that felt like they, needed that match. One year, I think it was the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Again, another one, faction warfare. Here, didn't really get that. It was kind of just, it was the conglomeration in Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
So
It's like,
so those those aren't too flattering. But then again, I'm obviously talking about their build-ups, and they do a lackluster job. That's not to say WWE does a overly great job themselves, especially this year. You know what I mean? The past couple of years, they've done
we're having a good run.
they've done okay. They've done okay. They've done okay with it. There are things to complain about, though. Last year was my favorite War Games that WWE's done on the main roster, personally. It was the Bloodline versus the Bloodline. I still think there were a lot of directions they missed in doing that. However, it was still awesome to see. I obviously complained a little bit on how willing Sami Zayn was to join back the Bloodline. I think they should have gave Roman Reigns a little push. I think they should have made Roman Reigns apologize before they teamed together so they felt more like a team instead of, Roman Reigns just continuing to be an asshole, yet these guys still help him anyway. That was a huge miss for me. It was a huge miss for me, I think. But again, you look at this year, and WWE's War Games build have not been so flattering either. So I will say WWE's have been better than AEW, but it's not to say that it's been, a just balls to the walls, amazing War Games build, because we're going to talk about it, when we talk about their shows. But, both, like Sir K said a couple minutes ago, and Logan says it in chat, WWE hasn't been so great, and as both companies haven't really done a great job with War Games, which, if you ask me, that might be an indication to switch it up this year. Switch it up next year, I'm sorry. So to switch it up next year for, again, maybe AEW takes a break from Blood and Guts. Maybe WWE does a year of Survivor Series where they go back to the traditional 5-on-5 elimination matches. Just saying, man. Maybe they do something. Maybe they do something a bit different, man. But Gotti, I know you love Roman Reigns, but I'm gonna tell you right now, last year for them to team with him, he needed to apologize for everything that he did to them, because yes, they kicked him. Yes, Sami Zayn hit him with a chair, but Roman Reigns completely had that coming. It was completely warranted.
Exactly, man. I love Roman. He's goated. He really is. But he treated his family like shit when he didn't need to. And that's what he needed to apologize for. And they just joined right back up with him. And they look like some pussies, bro. But
especially the way they did Sammy last year really annoyed me, because that you had the potential for a really good story, and then they waited like 3 weeks before the show to actually get that going, when that should have been like a 6 to 8 week build.
yeah.
They wait 3 weeks. Sami Zayn asked for an apology earlier in the night. Roman Reigns basically tells him, yeah, we don't need you. Get the fuck out of here. And so Sammy leaves, which, okay, that should have been a segment, earlier in the story. And literally the same night, Sami Zayn comes out, helps, stares Roman Reigns off, and then they all throw up the ones. It's like, Sammy, no, you're owed an apology, and this motherfucker should be apologizing. What?
If you didn't want to do the apology before the match, you could easily made it so everyone wanted the apology. They weren't getting it, but Roman's family, so they felt obligated to help him anyways. And then after Survivor Series, after War Games, that's when he finally does the apology. You had two paths, and you went with neither of them.
Yes. Especially with the whole story that they went with like Punk being the outsider, and he was the one that Roman couldn't trust. It was like the bloodline should have been intact before they brought a guy that nobody could, or that Roman couldn't trust, and CM Punk in. You know what I mean? They should
Yeah.
have all been in unison. They should have all apologized and been a happy little family. And then Paul Heyman springs this upon them like, oh, we need a fifth. Well, I got CM Punk, and then Roman, should have been pissed off at him. That's how I felt it should have went personally. But Gotti, what are you talking about? God.
Dude, I had to look away with that one, bro. He was putting them in positions they never saw before, man.
Gotti said,
You know,
Gotti says that Roman put them in positions that they never saw before.
wow, that is crazy. All of them?
Gotti, it looks like
Family?
you and Sir K got something in common, man, because you guys like putting people in positions that they never saw before. However, me and manager Logan are here having a civil conversation. I don't know what you two are on, but yeah, no, 100%. That's the story that should have happened. Logan says it. Roman's ego destroyed the bloodline. And at some point, I just really wanted his character to apologize to them for everything, all the tribal courts, all the bloodline civil wars he put them guys through. Man, he did a lot. He did a lot of bullshit, and at some point, especially with him turning babyface, I wanted there to be some remorse. I wanted him to get knocked off the mountain. I did, man, but that's not what they wanted to go with, and I don't know what the fuck Paul's thinking, man. But then again, that's a question we ask ourselves a lot nowadays. I don't know what the fuck Paul is thinking, half the time. Okay, however, there's an AEW Dynamite logo on the screen, and we're fucking talking about War Games. So let's get back on track. Talking about War Games from last year. However, man, excuse me, bro, but OG Bloodline versus Bloodline, that was so tough. That was such a fucking, that was such a, man, that was such a fucking, such a great War Games match, man. Again, my personal favorite from the main roster out of all the ones they've done. I would probably say the one we seen in person is my least favorite. I would say Bloodline versus Bloodline, Bloodline versus Brawling Brutes, Kevin Owens and Drew, and then Judgment Day versus, Sammy, Jay, Rollins, Cody, and Orton. That one is probably my least favorite.
Exactly. It's funny, the two War Games we see live, respectively, for NXT and main roster were probably some of the more weaker ones.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah, no, legit. Dude, could you imagine if we were in the crowd for that Bloodline one? Man.
That would have went crazy, dude. I mean, I'm still happy, very happy with what we got live, but man,
So
Bloodline versus Bloodline is just too goated.
So what is that your favorite main roster one too?
I would say that's my favorite main.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite main roster one will be Bloodline versus Bloodline. Favorite NXT one will be the first War Games they brought back.
Okay.
Sanity, Undisputed, AOP, Roddy.
Same. I will go Sanity, Sanity Undisputed, AOP. For my favorite, my second favorite will be that one with the War Raiders, Ricochet and Pete versus the Undisputed. Although my favorite, my goated War Games, my favorite one that stands above all of them is Undisputed versus Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Oni Lorcan, and Danny Burch. That one's when that was in the Capitol Wrestling Center in fucking 2021 when what a joke. That was when War Games was really at peak, man, when they were fucking doing it in front of a fucking empty warehouse. That was a goated War Games match. Yeah, my favorite NXT ones though are probably those two. Another NXT one that's actually a sleeper for me, not a lot of people talk about it, is the Black and Gold versus 2.0 one. That one was
I actually really like.
and that was when NXT was shit, but I actually really did like what they did there with the whole, Black and Gold versus 2.0. I actually really did enjoy that.
That was really the start of me liking LA Knight, because
Same.
he was in NXT and he joined the OG team.
Yeah,
Although he was a younger guy, he joined the OG team, and I don't know. Ever since then, he's been my guy. Hasn't been Triple H's guy, but
I was
he's
gonna
been my
say
guy.
that only makes two of us because Paul is not with us on the LA Knight conversation. But excuse me. Speaking a little bit about Blood and Guts, what is your favorite Blood and Guts that they've done?
Damn, that's tough, dude. That's tough. I think what is my favorite Blood and Guts? I don't know if I have an answer for it. I'll have to look back at all the Blood and Guts and see which one I really like the most, man. Because as much as I love it, it might be the first one, might be that first one, but I'll have to look and like remember the build and then the spots to each said
Oh,
matches, man. I'm really
well,
gonna have to look back.
it may not be the first one once I refresh your memory.
Oh, the
The
ending to
first
that one
one
was
is
the dead ending.
the first one is the one where it was going good, and then they decided for the final 20 minutes of the match to only film Jericho and MJF on top of the cage, and then that was the one where Jericho
Yeah.
fell onto the pillows at the end.
No, that right as I said that, I remembered that the first one was a production dud, and
Yes.
for like nearly half the match. So don't think it'll be the first one, man. But I'll have to remember, man. I don't know. I'll have to remember. I'll have to look back.
I will probably say, and it's the only one I remember having a decent build and a really good match, was the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club. I
Hmm.
will probably say that one is my favorite one that they've done. Although BCC and JAS I thought was very good. I thought that one was a very good one as well. As for the first one, um, you know, it was going good, and then the final 20 minutes of the match, AEW production just decided to go fuck themselves and walk around with their fucking heads in their ass. I don't know what they were doing in the truck, but they fucked everything up, and it absolutely killed my vibe. Again, to end it with Jericho falling onto a bunch of pillows after all the guys are on the bottom like a bunch of are on the floor like a bunch of idiots. Don't throw him instead of I don't know somebody sneaking around to the back of the cage to try to stop MJF. They're all just sitting there. Don't throw him, and then he fucking throws him. Yeah, yippee ki yay. But yeah, I would probably say Elite and Blackpool Combat Club was my favorite blood and guts match. That feud in general was just awesome. I really love that feud. I think that was a great feud for AEW. That was when Brian was running around calling everybody amateurs. Um
Oh, I loved heel Brian, dude.
he,
He was
heel
so great.
heel Brian we got that early in his AEW run
Yeah.
and it was goated, man. And then it made it even better when he turned back babyface cuz Brian
He,
uh, Bri- man, I don't know if we're ready for that conversation. People will probably look at me so stupid, but Brian Danielson's run in AEW, obviously it doesn't amount with accolades and whatnot, but I feel like I have enjoyed it more than the Daniel Bryan run. Personally,
okay.
again, I love the Daniel Bryan run, especially 2014, the Yes Movement, the Wyatt, even early 2014 with the Wyatt family. I thought that shit was great. I love his stuff with Bray. And the Planet's Champion I thought was amazing. But I have loved the American Dragon in AEW. For me, I will actually probably take I would probably take the run of Brian Danielson over Daniel Bryan. I've loved every second of it, man. But yeah, he O'Brien in AEW was an absolute demon, if I do say so myself, man.
Bro.
But
When he was fucking speaking to Hangman and just shitting on him for not wrestling after winning the title when he did, and he was just telling him you're just out here talking. Dude, he was so go-to, and so you don't get a man like that who is such an iconic and amazing big face, who's also an incredible heel at the same time. You don't get many of those, dude, and he plays both roles so perfectly.
yes, all that jumbled in with the fact that he is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. Um,
Hmm.
you will never see another uh, you will never see another Bryan Danielson, man. I will definitely make my children sit down and study the work of Bryan Danielson, man. What an absolute goat.
Kids are gonna be studying their ass off. You got Cena, you
Holy
got
fuck.
Brian, you got
AJ
the Bloodline,
Styles, the Bloodline
2018
story,
NXT.
Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, 2018 Adam Cole. This is what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to make them sit down and watch Adam Cole to, always push them to stay in their prime, man. Please.
Exactly. Don't look at what happened. You want that to happen to you?
You want this to happen
Stay
to
in
you?
your prime.
Exactly. You need to stay in your prime, bro. Yeah, they got a lot, man. They got a lot. They're not on this earth yet, but trust me, when they are,
Studying.
man, that I already got a laundry list of homework for them, man. They got holy fuck, they got a lot of work to do, man. Holy shit. Yeah, it's just, but yes, the AEW Women's War Games match was very good. I enjoyed it, man. We got Toni Storm pulling out the broken bottle tape on the hand spot from her matches with the one and only Mariah May. So Mariah May, Mariah May in this, she would have been great for this women's blood and guts match, man. She would have been, again, we appreciate that she went over to WWE, man. I really am happy for her, but man, she would have been fucking awesome. She would have been awesome in this women's blood and guts match. However, hopefully in a couple years, man, we will see her War Games debut. Obviously she ain't gonna get nearly as bloody as she would have gotten in an AEW one. That is one thing I miss from Mariah May. She was one of those women that was not afraid to get bloody. That's probably still, in my books, held up for the best women's match of 2025. It's definitely up there with Rhea and Io from Evolution. But for me, if you're talking strictly women's matches, the Hollywood ending is probably the best one that came out of professional wrestling all year.
It truly was a Hollywood ending. Did you see that little interview she did with herself on NXT where she basically
Yes.
looked exactly like Toni Storm?
Love it.
That was really fucking cool, dude. I'm glad they're finally actually, using Mariah May as Mariah May down there, and maybe next year we'll see her for War Games.
I love the constant callbacks to her feuds with Toni Storm. It almost kind of reminds me of Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. You know how they always kind of bring each other up every couple years, and they're always mentioning I used to have a best friend, or I remember Matt Menard when the JAS broke up, he specifically said, my friend Kevin Steen told me about you. They always sort of bring each other up, and I love how Toni and Mariah do that. Because to me, they will always probably be each other's greatest rival, man. I can't think of another greatest rival for Toni Storm than Mariah May, and vice versa. So they will always be tied together, in some regard. And I thought it was great, man. I thought it was great. I love the callback to Mariah May. And I love Blake Monroe, kind of hinting at a little timeless Toni Storm, man. So I love to see it. And hopefully one day we can see those two in the ring together again. So we did get a nail bed spot with Marina Shafir. AEW, can you please just use the Death Rider song for all the members of the Death Riders? Because Marina Shafir's entrance song was I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what Mikey Ruckus is cooking up there, but he's causing a ruckus with some of these entrance musics, man. It was horrible.
It was horrible. It was like a rock rap thing, and please do not ever play that theme song again. Just have her come out to the Death Riders theme. That shit has aura. That gives everybody aura. Just do that, bro. Please.
Toni Storm ends up surrendering. First of all, why was Mercedes in there? That looked like a very lazy effort to me. I didn't I didn't appreciate that. I mean, she didn't get bloody. She hardly got into it. She brought her belts in so they can use them as whips, and then she got, Samoan dropped through a table. It looked like she was in there strictly for name value to me.
It really did. It really did. It looked like she got that in there just to say, she was in blood and guts, and then that was about it. I don't think she put in as much as the other woman did into that match, and I think everyone could tell.
Sky Blue was a dog. Megan Bain even was great. Willow Nightingale was amazing. Marina Shafir and Chris Statlander, I thought, did phenomenal. Even Harley Cameron did a little something, but Mercedes, the most I remember from her in that match was her getting hit in the mouth with a pair of brass knucks. Yippee ki It was, I mean, what it was just seemed like minimal effort to me, man. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if she feels, like she's too big of a star and she doesn't need to do all that bullshit. Which, if that's the case, don't put yourself in a blood and guts match, man, because, if you're not going to get in there and get down to the nitty gritty of the whole match, then sorry, get out. That's why I say out of her and Bailey, Bailey's the better one for me, man, because I feel like if Bailey was in this kind of match, she would have actually fucking tried. But yeah, I don't know. This just seemed like minimal effort to me, bro, and I don't appreciate that. If you're not going to participate in the blood and guts match, then don't be in the blood and guts match. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
So Toni Storm ends up surrendering after the Triangle of Madness is holding Toni Storm back, and Marina Shafir has Mina Shirakawa in a sleeper hold as she's getting whipped with one of Mercedes' 32 championships by Megan Bain. Toni Storm surrenders after not being able to watch Mina Shirakawa get whipped any longer. So there you go. Toni Storm surrenders as the heel team picks up the victory in the first AEW Women's Blood and Guts match, man. So, yeah, I thought it was great. Man. Like I said, again, going into it, I thought the build obviously sucked. I can say that for all 4 War Games matches this year. But going into it, I thought the build for it definitely sucked, and the teams were thrown together. And again, you had people in there that just didn't belong, like Mercedes, again, who's supposed to be the greatest women's wrestler on the planet. My ass. Other than that, I thought all the other women did great. I thought they killed it. I thought they wrestled like they were trying to prove a point, which is something Mercedes used to do. But now she is, wrestling like she doesn't care to be there. So she's wrestling like she has guaranteed money, which she does. So that's probably why. But yeah, I thought they did great. Hangman Page defeated Powerhouse Hobbs in a Falls Count Anywhere match. The match was, it was fine. The big thing actually came after the match when Adam Page, and Samoa Joe ended up getting a steel cage stipulation for Full Gear. So that should actually add a pretty interesting, hopefully a little bit of a death match kind of atmosphere to their match at Full Gear. So I like that move, and I am excited for it.
Excited. I like that. I like AEW steel cage matches. I think they're usually always pretty good. And I think that's going to spice up Hangman and Samoa Joe. And I can't tell you if I've ever seen Samoa Joe in a really hardcore setting, at least not yet for AEW. So that actually really excites me to see what he's gonna do. Joe's a beast. We already know Hangman's a beast when it comes to getting bloody. So I'm actually very excited, and I think that helps their match a lot. For Full Gear, man. So I like that stipulation added, and I think that's a good one. But Women's Blood and Guts was really fucking good. I think all the women did great. Mercedes was just kind of there, just to be there, just to say she was there. But
For sure.
other than that, the women killed it. I like the ending, and the production to the match was fucking incredible, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely in agreement there. And then the men's blood and guts commentary. You gotta love these guys, man. You gotta fucking love these guys. I mean, see, here's the thing. Why in the world is Excalibur screaming at the top of his lungs as if these spots are happening to him? Legitimately screaming at the top of his lungs. So, we get a cool, like, thumbtack skateboard spot with Darby Allin. Claudio is doing a swing on Darby Allin, and he has Orange Cassidy on his back. Excalibur screaming, "What are we watching?" And Tony Schiavone, I just know Unk thought he was Mauro Ranallo with this call. He says, "You're watching his version of Superman." Tony,
Please
what
stop.
does that mean? What do
His
you mean by
version
that?
of Super.
What does that mean? Is he shooting lasers out of his eyes? Is he what is he doing? Is he flying? This man genuinely thinks he's Mauro Ranallo with this wordplay. Tony, put it down, please. Put the heads, get out of the booth, please. Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia, they drag a fork across Darby Allin's back at some point in the spot. Excalibur is literally screaming, "Ah, ah," as if he is having a fork drug across his sock face.
Man, I don't know if he's in one of those like 5D theaters where they fucking hit the little
Yeah.
effects from the movie on you or something. I don't know if he got like a shock chair or something to feel more involved in the match or something. But that man was in pain. He got a hernia. What's going on, bro?
What is wrong with this dude, bro? Please. Darby Allin is fighting with Pac and Gabe Kidd, the mercenary for the Death Riders.
Mercenary. Oh, God.
Gabe Kidd interrupts, and he attacks Darby Allin and helps Pac throw Darby through a flaming table. That dude, he poured a ungodly amount of lighter fluid on that table. That table was scorched. That fire was so fucking high, dude. And then Darby Allin, of course, goes crashing through it. Burnt as all hell.
Afterwards.
Yes, his pants were on fire. This man was squirming around like a fish out of water afterwards, which I obviously don't blame him. As Darby goes through a flaming table to keep him out of the match, Jon Moxley gets in a bulldog choke on Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle O'Reilly gives him the middle finger. And ends up turning that around into an ankle lock where Kyle O'Reilly gets Jon Moxley to tap out and surrender for the Death Riders in this blood and guts match here. So, here we have it again. Jon Moxley taps out and loses the match for his team.
Claudio is gonna murder him, dude. When that turn happens, man. You ever seen them compilations of fucking Claudio just whooping Darby's ass? That's what it's gonna look like all in one moment. He done tapped out in blood and guts. And they are setting that man Moxley up to get the back door. Listen, he has no clue what's coming.
That man is getting that fucking plastic bag over his head to be suffocated in absolutely no time, bro.
Exactly, dude. That man is getting set up to be murdered.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, bro. Yeah, that it's man, it's over with for John Moxley. Um, I do like the story that was told there. You know, I question why they gave that to somebody with the level of importance as Kyle O'Reilly. But at the end of the day, I can appreciate the story that they went for. Um, with John Moxley, obviously giving up for his team again. However, again, I just do question why it was somebody like Kyle O'Reilly to get that honor yet again. Um, Again, I just don't think they've booked him that importantly, and I don't think they are going to turn him into some major superstar either. So I don't know why he's added to that list of names, but I don't know. Maybe this was something Moxley requested. And again, that's the only thing that was a bit odd for me. Again, somebody they've treated with such little importance is somebody to get John Moxley to tap out, and somebody who actually gets him to, kind of lose or hit referees quite a bit. So I don't really know about that, but yes, as for the men's blood and guts match, in terms of the story that they went for, I thought they told it great.
They told the story great. Kyle O'Reilly is a weird choice to end off the match with, even though overall, I think, before said injuries, I'm sure Swerve and Will were going to be in this match, and I
Oh yeah.
could have seen one of those two being in this spot to end the match. So you got to make do with what you got. You may do with Kyle O'Reilly. All right, I guess. But overall, I like the ending. I like where it takes Knox. I like where it takes Death Riders. And although I was saying World's End, Full Gear might be the death of John Moxley, man. I think it's coming, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Very intrigued to see how the Death Riders are without him, after that said moment. But overall, like what they did here, I thought the match was great. I thought the women's did was a little more blood and guts, if that makes sense, man. But still a great match nonetheless, and I like the story it's building too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, that was everything for AW Dynamite. That was everything for their blood and guts version of the show this year. So we will have to wait and see who does it better, man, WWE or AEW. But before we move on to anything else, we do have an official word from our sponsor here at NHP. We have a word from W Energy, man. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula that is sugar-free, 0-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Really, always got to shout out Dovey, whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for, whether it's the few pay-per-views we have left, whether it's a gift for Christmas for a loved one, could be a great gift for a loved one, or usually you give Santa the milk and cookies, maybe give him cookies and some W, man. He's up all night. Maybe you want to give him some energy, put some W in that cup, and give that man some energy, man. So whatever you may need it for, whether workout, whatever, W will never let you down. You'll be energized. You won't have the jitters, and it'll taste good all at the same time. Truly, always got to shout out W.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yes, as always, man, shout out to the great people over at W Energy, the official sponsor of what we do here at Notorious Heels, man. So, with that being said, we got SmackDown. Man, what a banger episode of SmackDown this was, man. This fucking show sucks. And they want to drag this shit out to 3 hours again.
Dude, which I'm also hearing, like, it's not going to be another permanent 3 hours. It's going to be like just for a few months at the start of the year, 3 hours. Like it was. Why are you doing all this shit? You, pick a maybe I have a theory. You know how they kind of did it for Peacock is like they ran through their hours so they could get off Peacock faster. Maybe that's what they're doing with SmackDown. That's why they're going with 3 hours. So maybe it's like Peacock where that extra hour adds time they're using to have a shorter deal overall.
Maybe.
Maybe that's really the only thing I could think of logically. But god damn, this show can't survive. Dude, you're bored an hour in. 3 hours?
Mm-hmm. Like you said.
Oh, they're doomed, man. They're doomed.
Yeah, like you said, man, you're bored not even an hour into the show, man. So to put us through another 3 hours, man, personally, I think is a little bit diabolical. However, yeah, I guess this is God, I don't know. I guess this is what we're just gonna have to put up with, bro. Absolutely ridiculous. Charlotte Flair. Won't talk too much on this because we did get the conclusion to Monday Night. We did get the conclusion on Monday Night Raw. Charlotte Flair walks out on Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss and Io Sky because they were flirting with the idea of all teaming together on War Games, and Charlotte came out and said, "Rhea, I can't trust you. I think you're a snake, man." Personally, I think Charlotte's just a bit of a sore loser, but she walked out on her best friend, Alexa Bliss, man. So we did get the conclusion on Monday Night Raw, but nonetheless, this did happen on SmackDown. And then afterwards, Alexa, Rhea, and Io got jumped by the heels, man. So Charlotte left her homie out to dry, man. So crazy work.
Really did. That's crazy work. Even though, I do like the little adversity it is to get the team together. It's not just, oh, let's get together, man.
Yeah.
Let's feel the moment. I do like the little adversary they added to get there, man. So it's a nice little detail, man.
Definitely. Ilya Dragunov defeated Axiom in the United States Open Challenge. What can I say, man? My guy Dragunov is killing it. All I can hope is that they take him off being the SmackDown special and put him on a couple pay-per-views, man. I would love that. And yeah. I think Dragunov's been doing great. I just hope that they do, treat him with a little more importance by putting him on pay-per-views. So that will come as we get into more pay-per-views. But the only thing that does scare me about Dragunov is him being that SmackDown before the pay-per-view guy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it, man. That's the thing that sucks, dude. You're putting Nikki Bella in a pay-per-view match, dude. Please, for the love of God, give me a Dragunov match in there if you're gonna do that to me. Please, you need to. He deserves it. He's working his ass off. It's the only good shit you care about on SmackDown, and reward him on pay-per-view, please.
Absolutely, man. So we got Jey Uso defeating The Miz.
They really hit a Jey Uso and Miz graphic in 2025, dude. That's insane. And Miz wasn't even the worst one. He was.
We are 4 days removed from this episode of SmackDown, and I am still fighting to figure the fuck out how Jey Uso got out-wrestled by the fucking Miz.
The Miz out-wrestled him.
The Miz.
Oh, the Miz. Bro, what?
My God. What is this? What world are we living in here? First of all, I don't even know why they did this match, man. That you gotta be just absolutely fucking with your fan base at this point, unless Triple H is just trying to humor himself. Because again, who the hell thought that putting this on the show was a good idea? I have absolutely no idea. I can't comprehend that whatsoever. I really can't. I can't comprehend that at all. And then for us to get to the match, and for me to actually see with my own two eyes the fucking Miz out wrestle Jey Uso, it really goes, you know, it really does prove everything that your fan base says about, you know, Jey Uso being washed up and all this and that, man. Again, I don't want to say that the guy is washed up, man. I think he's lazy. I think either the pressure's gotten to him of being in these main event spots, either that, or he is just, you know, careless out there. He's complacent. He knows, you know, he's making his money and that's all he cares. I don't know what the problem is. But again, if this, you know, level of performance is going to continue, I could very much see why they dropped the whole next tribal chief storyline, bro. Because, you know, I don't know what happened to that, but again, you can't perform like this and be put in a top spot, man. I mean, it's just it is downright ridiculous to be out wrestled by the Miz. And it's downright ridiculous to be in the spot that he's had over the past year, the year of 2025 specifically, and again, to perform like that and be put in that level of spot, to me is just, it's ridiculous and it's unacceptable.
It is unacceptable, man. It's like you said, I don't know if it's the pressure getting to him, or I don't know if it's the opposite, where it's like complacency getting to him. Whatever it is, at this point in his career, he is not built for the singles match. He needs that tag rope, and I think he needs it really fucking bad.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. And he defeats The Miz. I'm going to tell you right now, if Jey Uso advances far in this tournament, Triple H, you're just an absolute goofball, man. I mean, you're just an absolute goofball, dude. I mean, seriously, again, who wants to see this guy advance to be John Cena's final opponent? Because if a guy like Jey Uso advances far in this tournament, I'm going to be left wondering why a Javon Evans wasn't given a couple rounds in this tournament. Why a Dolph Ziggler was not given a couple rounds in this tournament, and why a guy like Jey Uso is. I'm seriously, once we get the bracket for this, which hopefully should be Friday, because I think Friday's the last of the first round matches, I'm seriously going to question why he is advancing in this tournament. He's already going to the second round. I can just truly ask that this dude does not make it to the semifinals or the finals of this tournament, because, again, if he's going to wrestle like this, he shouldn't have been in the tournament at all. And speaking of that, he's in the build for War Games. So, again, why, if you're in War Games, why are you in this tournament to begin with?
Yeah, like he's in War Games. He's busy. What if he gets injured in War Games and you just got this dude beating people in this tournament for no fucking reason? That is a horrible booking strategy. He should not be in this tournament. He shouldn't be, and he shouldn't be beating people in this tournament at all.
And again, I'm actually going to stick up for The Miz here, because I would have rather seen The Miz advance in this tournament. Because at least The Miz going to the semifinals, at least he has history with John Cena. It's not like the two main evented WrestleMania together or anything like that. I have more interest in seeing a Miz and Cena match than I do a Jey and Cena match. So why is Jey advancing in this again?
It makes no sense, dude. Makes no fucking sense.
LA Knight then gets his mystery opponent in the Last Time Is Now tournament. And it is none other than Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder returns to WWE for, from what we hear, is just a one-off, but he's still, I guess, back nonetheless. I thought it was cool, man. He does have a tie-in with John Cena, and obviously, the whole storyline of Zack Ryder getting over in 2011 and then early 2012, Vince just going to hell or high water to bury the guy and have John Cena just be a complete dick to him and steal his fucking girlfriend while he was in a wheelchair. Absolutely diabolical stuff. Zack Ryder, he does have a career tie-in with John Cena, so I did think it was cool. I did think it was cool to see him back. Again, kind of little hypocritical with the whole, if I ever go back to WWE, I'll never be Zack Ryder. I'm the indie god. I'm the, whatever, Matt Cardona. I like Matt Cardona a lot. I think he's worked his ass off on the indies, and for as much as I do like Matt Cardona, unfortunately, I just don't see a spot for him back in WWE. I really don't. I think he may be meant to just be the indie god. Again, I think he does great work on the indies. I think he, again, I think he's one of the upper echelon guys on the indies right now, and you need those kind of guys. You need a big star on the indies, and again, you can clearly see it here, man. If he is the indie god, but in WWE he comes back and he's a first round exit, and it's no disrespect on him. I think he's a great talent, but I just think that a run in WWE is not. I think Dolph Ziggler looked more at home and like he could have more of a spot to fill, in a main roster capacity than Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder. It's nothing against the level of talent that I think he is, because I think he's great. I just don't think there's a spot for him back in WWE, man. Excuse me. I don't.
No, I really don't think there is, and it was good seeing him. Good seeing him, even though it was a remixed version of it.
Oh
Still,
God.
love that theme song, man. Even though the remix one wasn't bad, I will say it hit all the right things, but nothing beats that original theme, bro. That is a goated ass theme, and it was nice seeing him. It was, and it was cool his connection to Cena, and very cool his connection to the Cena pipe bomb, which is a very cool thing
Yes.
they did with this with these surprises. Um, but I just don't think there's the purpose for him in this company, man. Like you said, I think Dolph has more of a purpose in this company that I would like to see a lot more than Matt Cardona. And I really hope, Matt Cardona can go and just be him on the indies, man, and all around the world. Either way, it was a fun little surprise, man. And overall, I liked it.
For sure. For sure. So LA Knight defeats Zack Ryder in the last time is now tournament. So LA Knight does advance. Unfortunately, LA Knight will not be winning the tournament. However, I guess I'll have to live with the fact that we will never get our LA Knight or Jey Uso, or, oh God, no, I'm sorry. LA Knight or Jacob Fatu John Cena match. Trust me, we've seen John Cena and Jey Uso interact one too many times on this farewell tour. So I'm okay there. I don't want to see the Yeet Man against the Never Seen 17. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't care how many fucking little kids want to wear their Yeet goggles. I don't want to see it. Okay?
Exactly, dude.
So, we got Drew McIntyre officially signing his contract for War Games, as Nick Aldis is pissed because Paul Heyman went behind his back and signed, the suspended Drew McIntyre to a deal for War Games. Who the hell seen that coming?
Way they have Cody in there for no reason. I wonder if his useless feud is going to be drawn into War Games then. Oh my God,
I wonder.
they did it.
I wonder. Monday Night Raw. We got Monday Night Raw here, man, from the Garden. This is your November 17th edition of Monday Night Raw, like I said, from Madison Square Garden. To open the show, man,
Dude, one thing, before we go into detail, man, these last two episodes, Cena is so amazing in what he does. For these last two episodes, he took about, the first 45, 50 minutes of the show, and it didn't feel like that amount of time at
no.
all, dude. He was in that promo. I felt, when it got interrupted, I was like, damn, they gave him that little of a promo. But when you actually look at the time, I was like, oh, wow, that's like a full-length promo, and it didn't
Yep.
even feel like half full in a good way, man.
Yep.
Cena's just that good, man. He's just that fucking good.
Time flies when you're having fun, man. Time flies when you're having fun, and we got to witness. As you can see, I am sporting the very shirt he was wearing last night, the New York City. And as you can see on the sleeve, this was John Cena's final Raw. I obviously
Shit was sad.
I had to cop the shirt because truly there are 2 appearances left, but there is only 1 shirt left. So the next time I buy a John Cena shirt, the last time will be now. And
Exactly.
like I said, there's 2 appearances left, but I'll only be buying 1 more shirt because if you guys seen the leaks, that San Diego shirt is fucking hideous. I'm sorry. It's fucking hideous, man. It is white and it has like brown. I know it's the Padres colors, but it's ugly, man. It's really ugly, dude. I don't like it at all. It's brown, yellow on it's brown and yellow on a white shirt. If anything, they should have just did a yellow shirt with the brown as the secondary color. I thought that would have been better. But yeah, the white is ugly, man. I'm sorry. You should have learned from that Lakers shirt that you made white not to do another white shirt. The Kentucky one, which was also a white shirt, is just it was ugly as well, man. So I don't know. Kentucky should have been blue because the Kentucky college team, their colors are white and blue. So I don't know why you didn't make. I don't know why you went with white again. I don't know why you went with white. I would have just went with blue. And then for this shirt, the Lakers shirt was a huge dud. That shirt should have been gold or purple. And then this shirt, again, is also a dud because you should have just made it yellow, or I would have even went with brown. So
Exactly, man. I like the idea for the San Diego shirt. I like the sunset stripes, an idea. I don't think an execution it worked out. And then did you see the sleeve where the logo on the sleeve is just in a black box on a white shirt?
yeah.
Who designed that shirt, bro?
Yeah.
Who designed it? And then the hat is like a burgundy red. Who designed that set of merch, dude?
Yeah.
Goddamn, man. Goddamn.
I don't know, man. So John Cena comes out for his final Monday Night Raw. Wow.
Crazy, man.
Man, I definitely wasn't tearing up a little bit watching him come out for his final Monday Night Raw. Hearing the crowd sing his song, hearing the chants of Cena before his music even hit. They're singing his song. John Cena is obviously having a great time. He's looking around, clearly taking all of this in. Man, that was emotional, man. That was emotional, if I do say so myself. That was very emotional. It was a very emotional Monday Night Raw. As Cena comes out for his last They cut the music. He lets the crowd chant for a little bit before pointing over to Alicia Taylor. I'm just saying, it always gets me in the little intro when they introduce him and they say the greatest of all time. I don't know why that part always gets me, but it does. Seeing him look out to the crowd and thinking of all the memories. I mean, legit, dude, all the years. Think about it, bro. All the years we've watched John Cena on Monday Night Raw. For it to, for me to be present with the situation, and I just kept saying to myself, like, this is the last Monday Night Raw ever for John Cena as a performer. This is it. And I think about all the memories when I was a kid, whether it was John Cena feuding with the Nexus, getting fired from WWE, and then beating the Nexus's ass the whole, rest, for the remainder of those weeks. Watching John Cena on the Nexus, watching him feud with Batista, watching him feud with Randy Orton, watching him feud with CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Bray Wyatt, all these memories, man. All these memories just come back to you and they hit you. Watching him feud with AJ Styles, all these memories, man, of just watching John Cena on Monday Night Raw. They definitely all came back. And it definitely made this very, very emotional for me, man. This was, this was awesome. This was awesome, man. But still very, 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 very sad. Very, very bittersweet. Truly, man. The I can't say it enough. The greatest of all time. And you could definitely, you could definitely see him feeling that same way as well, man. He was definitely taking this in and really appreciating the moment and being present in the moment, man. And there was quite a few times where I got choked up in this whole thing, bro. But fuck, this is the last time.
Last time, dude. The end for me, and we'll talk about it, but the end part of everything tonight with Cena really is what was like, what got me, man. That final like talk to the camera
Oh
he
God.
did. That was like a gunshot, bro. That really was, man. But it was beautiful. These last two Raws for Cena have truly been wonderful, man. They've been great.
We are less than a month, bro. And we are done with
Dude,
weekly
2 dates.
television. 2 fucking dates.
Damn. 2 dates left, man. Insane.
Yikes. John Cena comes out. He thanks the crowd. He says he loves their enthusiasm. He says it's New York City that makes or breaks careers, and at the end of mine, I can look out and see people as far as the eye can see. He says, Madison Square Garden, the champ is here. He thanks the Garden for allowing him to walk through these hollowed hallways for 23 years. He says this is important because this is the last time we can talk at MSG and on Monday Night Raw. He says this is very important to me before Dominic Mysterio comes out. Damn. That's
Damn.
the match. Immediately,
Hey.
I was like, that I love Dom. And I know John Cena's a giving dude. I'm sure I'm sure it was probably his idea to put Dominic over. But that's the match. Out of all, dude, why are we doing repeat matches? I mean, I get it's in San Diego, but that's it. I love Dom, I do, but Sheamus, LA Knight, fucking somebody,
dude. Like I do love Dom, and I'm glad he gets this. But like, to me, if CM Punk never got the repeat match, ain't nobody else gets the repeat match.
Yeah.
If that makes, because like, what the hell, dude? I'm not even. It's not even that I hate the idea. I just, you could have done more.
You absolutely could have done more. Again, it's just, again, this late into it, and again, I completely understand, again, it was probably Cena's idea to put it back on Dom and to put Dom over on the way out because he's a future star. But, again, I much rather would have just seen Cena against, again, it's not even that it's Dominic, it's just, I just would have liked to see him, you know, wrestle somebody different. Again, this late in it with 4 dates left, we're doing repeat matches, and Cena's, in 3 of his last 4 dates, he was in the ring with Dominic Mysterio, and it's nothing against Dom. It's just, we should be trying to maximize the amount of people that Cena gets to be in the ring with, in my personal opinion, man. I just think that I just think that would have been, just something to give people variety in who we see him in the ring with for his last 4 dates, man. And in 3 of the last 4 dates, we get to see him in the ring with Dom. So again, it's nothing against Dom. It just more so has to do with laziness on Triple H's part, because we should be getting a variety of people that Cena is in the ring with, in my personal opinion, man. But Dominic comes out here and he speaks Spanish a little bit, and he says, nobody wants to hear what you have to say. He says Cena was handed a title shot just like you've been handed everything. Dom says he's fought for everything he has and he wants a rematch for his IC championship. Cena says, gosh, did you come to the right building if you think I'm going to back down on my last Monday Night Raw? He says he's got to ask New York what they think about this. He says tonight in the world's most famous arena, John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for the IC championship right here, right now. Crowd is chanting for it. Cena says, if you're feeling froggy, jump. Dominic says, no. We already did it your way. You had management on your side and in your hometown. Now we're going to do it my way. The crowd starts chanting, shut the fuck up. Cena chimes in and says, Netflix, keep this on the air. They're chanting Choco Fun Cup. That got an LOL out of me, I can't lie.
Really did.
Dominic got an LOL out of me too, because he looks at Cena in the most serious tone and he just says, are you done?
I like their little interaction there. I thought that part was really fun.
I did. And Cena looks at him. He says, are you done? Dominic says, no, I'm not. I want you at Survivor Series in San Diego, California on my home turf. Cena says, Dom, you want your rematch in your backyard? No problem. I accept. But here's what I do have a problem with. I told the world that I would have a match tonight on my last Monday Night Raw, and I see an opponent in the ring. So right now, let's forget about this. He throws the IC title away. Let's focus on this. And he points around to the crowd. He says, tonight, if you have the guts to face me one-on-one and have the chance to make history, he says, tonight you have a chance to face me one-on-one and make history. So, are you feeling lucky, punk? The Judgment Day's just absolutely god-awful theme song hits. It's like some... It's like some B-rate gangster rap. What the fuck is that? Shut that shit all the way the fuck up. I mean, oh my, that burger ass music, bro. What the fuck is that, bro?
You see that Dom said he doesn't even like his or the Judgment Day's theme.
So Dominic's song I do like. It kind of sounds like an evil version of his dad's music. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The Judgment Day song I absolutely hate. However, I know Dominic is friends with like that Mexican OT. They could do better. But I'll say his song is not that bad. But they could do better.
Yeah.
However, That Judgment Day song, burger ass music, bro. Burger music.
And it's evil.
So Dominic, I will say, could for sure come out to some Mexican gangster rap. I think that would be tough.
I need it.
So we got. Damn, he really said that? Man, that's
Oh yeah.
that's
He
get Def Rebel the fuck out of it. I mean, come on, man.
said he
Golly.
wishes he has there's a name for it, the kind of music he said he wanted to come out to, but he literally said that he basically said he doesn't like him Judgment Day or his own theme song.
Man. Well, I guess his prayers are about as answered as Seamus's prayers are. So,
At least one prayer was answered, man. We'll get to that shit later.
man, oh, dude,
Whew,
me and you, man, our prayers of 3 years have finally been answered.
finally.
Ganda. Fuck.
Man, thank God
Oh.
it is gone.
So, could fucking bury that motherfucker 12 feet under. I never want to hear that again.
God no.
So, we have Judgment Day and their god awful theme song coming out here. Dominic says, you're not going to get your final match on Raw, but what you are going to get is your ass beat. Judgment Day, who thought Dominic would have had such a cool factor when he was babyface, Ray's son? Man.
He was fucking green as fucking grass, babyface Dom.
Holy.
Turns into this, bro. What a career like turnaround, dude.
So, the Judgment Day jump John Cena, and Sheamus and Rey Mysterio come out for some help. So Cena proposes a 6-man tag, the Judgment Day against Sheamus, Rey, and the greatest of all time, John Cena. I thought this was pretty cool. I thought this was cool to get Cena some interaction with Rey. Rey had a Cena attire on. He had the "You Can't See Me" on his mask and on his the C with the little like circle cross through it. So I thought that was dope. And Cena also gets to interact with Sheamus, which is another rival from my childhood. I remember that very, very much so remember those two being rivals with each other. Cena, Sheamus, and Rey do end up defeating the Judgment Day. They do the 5 beats to the Bodhrán and the 5 knuckle shuffle all together, all 3 of them. So I guess 30 beats. And the 15 knuckle shuffle we got by all 3 of them. Rey then hits a double 619 on JD and Finn. Finn turns around into a brogue kick. And Cena hits an attitude adjustment on JD McDonough for the victory. Dude, watching John Cena, Sheamus, and Rey, 3 fucking OGs from my childhood, walk up that ramp, and Rey Mysterio's like piggybacking off of John's back. You could just tell they were having so much fun. Everybody there was just soaking it in. I'm so happy for Finn and for JD that they got to, be a part of the farewell tour in a sense. They got to be in John Cena's final Raw match, so I'm very happy for those guys there. Watching these 3 guys walk up the ramp made me feel like Unk because, man, this is, you guys know, man, this is our childhood, man. These are 3 guys that we watched, endlessly in our childhood. Sheamus, Rey Mysterio, and John Cena. And to see these guys walk up the ramp, towards, the end of all three of their careers, really. It was just such a sad but awesome thing to see. It was awesome. It was an awesome moment. And John Cena, I swear he's trying to kill me at this point. John Cena looks at the camera. He says, Stu, final Raw. That's all she wrote. Thank you. Love you. And he walks off with his boys. Because that was it. And all I could hear in my head was when we were at SmackDown and Cena walked away. And I'm bawling my eyes out like a little baby. And Sir K, in an attempt to kill me, looks over and he says, damn, that was it. And I start crying more. So thanks, Sir K. But man, when he said that, I swear he's trying to kill me at this point. He's got to be. I mean, he's really got to be, man. Fuck. That was amazing. And that was sad. What a way to go. What a Monday Night Raw career. And to the greatest Monday Night Raw acquisition ever, we bid you farewell. And man, I'm going to miss you on Monday nights. The GOAT, truly, thank you so much for all the memories, man. I mean, fuck. God damn it. December 13th is going to be fucked. This is horrible. My God.
I'm gonna need the black button up for December 13th, bro. I'm gonna be pulling up like it's a funeral. Because god damn, that's what it's gonna feel like, man. This was great. This was sad, but on all the right ways, man. People were kind of upset, I guess, that it was a 6-man tag. I really liked it. Thought it was well, and I'm very glad, like you said, Sheamus and Ray got to have one last interaction, and I'm really glad that Finn and JD McDonough get to say they wrestled Cena on his last TV match, man. I really liked the 6-man. I did, and although I don't love them repeating matches with Cena for this, I'm okay with it. Dom is a better repeat match than Logan Paul or Brock, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And this was sad, man. And that ending, little fucking talk to the camera and Stu, that was the final nail in the coffin for me, bruh. That shit was a gunshot wound, and that shit hit.
Man.
Damn.
I remember the first time I cried about John Cena Raw moment. And last night was the last time. The first time was when he was fired from WWE because of the Nexus. And I vividly remember John Cena walking out of the arena and shaking hands with Randy Orton after he got fired, and I thought it was all fucking over there. I thought then was the last. I thought the last time was then.
Fired.
And yeah, right. Just fire the biggest fucking star in the business. So, little 9-year-old, 10-year-old me thought this was the real deal. I thought they genuinely pink slipped a man. And I was doing fine. And my dad was watching it from upstairs. And I wasn't crying. And my dad, in just the most, the man absolutely dunked on me. I mean, Vince Carter style, bro. I don't know why he did me this bogus. He screams from upstairs. He screams for my sister. And he says, "Is your brother crying yet?" Damn near on fucking command. I just started fucking bawling. He felt so bad. He comes downstairs and he's like, "Fuck, where's your John Cena shirt?" So he goes in the fucking laundry hamper, pulls out my wrinkly John Cena purple shirt. You guys remember the purple 2010 shirt, which Mattel, get on it. He pulls out my John Cena wrinkled up purple shirt from 2010. He's like, "Here, I'm so sorry." He's apologizing. And I walked around the house for the rest of the night in a smelly ass, wrinkled up John Cena purple shirt. because I was just absolutely beside myself. I thought it was fucking over with. So it was not over with, but that was the first time, and this was actually the last time. So John, the GOAT, again, man, thank you so much for fucking
Everything.
20 years of memories on this show. God damn it.
Insane, dude. Truly, thank you, Cena, man. Crazy.
The fucking GOAT, bruh. The fucking GOAT.
Oh, dude, the 13th is gonna. Oh, bro. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a pair of sunglasses, which I have them right here, and trust me, they got the 13th written all over them. God, golly, well, if I wasn't already fucking tearing up, we have a fucking Paul Heyman segment. Actually, I gotta commend WWE for doing something, even though they showed us the replay. WWE did a little like segment with Andrew Scholes and the New York Giants fighting the Judgment Day. Thank you, WWE, for doing something like that on the commercial break. Now, again, they did show us the replay, but at least we just got the replay of it. Of course, they did their little segment where, they show all their, celebrity people out in the crowd. I will say at least they showed Fluffy, which is somebody that I actually know is a legitimate wrestling fan, somebody who actually loves wrestling. Now, I'll say, where was the love for West Side Gun? But we're gonna show these guys, but we're gonna show all these fucking people. But when we actually now again, Fluffy gets a pass. I know Fluffy's an actual wrestling fan, but we got West Side Gun in the crowd, and instead of showing him for our cameras, let's just let's get him out of here because he sings somebody's entrance theme music. So that's just wonderful.
Like, exactly. I'm glad they did this shit on the commercial. Very good decision to do that, man. And they really put salt in the wound by following up with the fucking Paul Heyman fucking segment afterwards, man. Um, goddamn. But it was a nice little interaction with the celebrities, and that's how you do it. You keep it off TV, and then you just do the little replay of it and call it a day, man. Call it a fucking day. That's how you do it.
Absolutely. So, was Yachty there? I must have missed him.
I guess he was.
I do remember seeing a bunch of comedians and then like a singer,
Yeah.
I think. Clearly, she wasn't even doing the "You Can't See Me" right. She was doing this. So I can clearly tell she has absolutely no fucking idea what wrestling is. Yeah, I can believe Yachty's an actual wrestling fan. I actually think.
No, he's been on
Yeah,
other shows.
I was gonna say he's any time it seems anytime he's in town he goes, because he goes to shows in Atlanta. We've seen him in Los Angeles. We've seen him in New York. We've seen him a lot. But yes, Cam Scadaboo was there, and he got a huge reaction, which obviously, he's a Giants guy, so he's like him and Jackson Dart are like the face of that franchise now, so he got a huge reaction. But that's crazy. I miss Yachty. Well, Yachty gets a pass too, and then so does Fluffy, because I know they're actually wrestling fans. These other fucking schmucks. Again, where is my guy West Side Gun at, man? He sniffed in one time during the heel Cena. That's what fucking Triple H did, I guess, and then he kicked him out. So Yachty had SVR06 on a PSP, and they showed it, and they showed it when they showed him.
That, actually.
Was he playing as Chris Benoit? Because I think Chris Benoit's last one was on 2007. Because you fucking imagine how funny that would be if he turns it and it's just fucking like Chris Benoit versus John Cena queued up on the. Oh, that would be fucking amazing.
Dude, that would literally he would be a legend for that shit.
Absolutely hilarious. The GMs are talking, and Paul Heyman walks up, and he's explaining that, he's rambling on about how him adding Drew was within the rules. He then says, if you think my fourth pick of Drew McIntyre pissed you off, wait till you see who my fifth is. He hands Adam Pearce the little book. He hands him the book as Adam Pearce opens it up, and they both sigh and say, this is going to be fun. And it was. So, yeah, I fucking wonder who this is. It's not like, Brock Lesnar was advertised for the show or anything. So it's not like, man, I really wonder who Paul Heyman's going to get.
It might as well just said, oh, look, Brock Lesnar's written down in that segment, because that's what you did.
Might as well have. And then we get the dastardly Nikki Bella.
This might have been the worst promo I've ever had to fucking listen to, dude. Holy hell.
Come on.
This was dog shit. This was absolute. She talks like a goddamn middle schooler trying to talk shit, dude. She is out. Why is she back, dude? Why is she back?
Me and you used to dead ass have better promo battles in our fucking sophomore year of high school against each other, when we would just be riffing, trying to get better at our talking game.
Dude, my fucking Universe mode promos were better than this shit. This was god awful.
Bro. That's a great question. Gotti says, why would Adam Pearce be mad at Brock, though? Yeah, I don't know why Heyman said that, you're going to, if you were mad at Drew, you're really going to be mad at this one, and it's Brock. Like, what? Why would
management has no beef with him, at least on TV management. Backstage management has real beef, but not TV beef.
All the women in the locker room have a beef with Brock. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I don't. He's making everybody uncomfortable back there. But I mean, why? What would like Gotti said? What would they have against him?
Like dog. Like I get the the court might, but not the GMs.
Good Lord. So Stephanie comes out and Nikki Bella attacks her. Best heel in the business right now. She reminded me of 2018 Ciampa here. Nikki says she didn't come back to cheer on the sideline or be a sidekick. Whoa. Holy fuck.
Wait. No, fuck. No, man.
She came back to take back her division. God.
Oh, man.
It's fucking
scary, please don't.
Dude. Please. So, you will be giving me a match for that Women's World Heavyweight Championship and bow down to the woman that changed this industry. Was she fighting AJ Lee?
I don't see AJ. I don't see Saraya. I don't know who I see.
I don't see Bailey. I don't see Becky Lynch. I don't see fucking Asuka. I don't see fucking Trish Stratus or Lita. I don't see Mercedes. I don't see fucking change the industry.
Change the industry. You just change the channel. That's all you do.
She is the embodiment of a diva. You did not change anything. I'm sorry.
No, exactly. You were what inspired the change. Hate to break it to you.
I'm sorry so much. I truly do respect your brother-in-law. So, but as far as you changing the industry, hey, I don't know about all that. Okay. That promo was absolutely horrible. That was absolutely horrible, man. Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely miss me with this bullshit, man. I mean, you really can. This was no good, man. This was no good. I was not a fan of this. I was not a fan of this promo. Again, she sounded like a fucking child out there. Um, Truly, she sounded like an absolute kid out there trying to prove her point or whatever that was, whatever you want to call that. That's what she was trying to do, and it was not good. It was not good at all,
No.
may I add, man. It was not a fan. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of this feud. I'm not a fan of this match. I'm not a fan of this program, and I'm not a fan of this graphic. I'm not a fan of this idea. I'm not a fan of the creative process. I'm not a fan of the person who even thought this was a good idea, Paul. So, yeah, I mean this is changing the industry for all the wrong reasons.
This really is, man. This really is. Don't know why you're wasting Stephanie Vaker like this, dude. She could be doing so much greater shit, dude. And you're wasting Nikki Bella, and you're wasting an undercard Survivor Series match on Nikki Bella. Why is she back in this capacity, bro? Please, can someone actually answer me that question?
Absolutely no idea. Bailey and Lyra are backstage. They are playfully arguing with each other. It's the typical, Lyra's
Yeah.
questioning Bailey. Bailey's calling her a fucking idiot or, whatever, whatever she's got going on. She's little sistering Lyra. And the Kabuki Warriors walk up and they ask Bailey, they say, hey, we need a fifth in War Games. Asuka says she can forget the past and forgive her if she joins them. Bailey laughs. She says, after everything you did to me, the answer is no. The Kabuki Warriors then storm off, and Lyra tells Bailey she's proud of her, and Bailey calls her an idiot again. I love seeing Bailey and Lyra on television, but what the fuck was the point of this segment? Why would they even think to ask Bailey to join their War Games team?
Just, hey, man, I know we slimed you out like crazy in the past, man, but you want to help us out in sliming out people that you're allies with? What answer do you think you're going to get?
Uh, Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no fucking idea. This moves us over to the women's war game stuff that happened in the show itself. Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is out there. She says that Charlotte has ignored her all weekend. She talks a little bit about Charlotte and their friendship, and ignoring how everybody told Alexa not to trust Charlotte. But she didn't listen to them anyway because she saw the good in her. All for Charlotte to just let her get her ass beat last week because she didn't like or trust Rhea. She asked, when have you ever cared about people trusting you or liking you? The second I needed my best friend, you decide to take a stand and prove a point because you don't like someone? What the hell, Charlotte? You know, on paper, I thought the point of the promo was good.
Yeah.
Alexa's delivery was very off. She sounded like she was trying to be intimidating, which it came off
Yeah.
very unintimidating. I almost kind of wanted
Yeah.
to laugh through certain parts of it.
I don't know why she did this promo with an intimidating tone and not more of like a confused, questioning tone. Charlotte, I don't know why the tone was selected here. Like I said, I like the point and the purpose to the promo. Just the tone really threw it off.
Very much so. So the Kabuki Warriors with Nia Jax and Lash Legend. This formidable team.
I really like Lash, and you bring her up with Nia Jax. Come on, dog. What are you doing?
Man, they
Come on.
yeah, that's Talk about giving somebody an unfair advantage to start.
Literally, what a man. But Nia Jax?
Nia Jax, bro.
Come, fuck, dude. Come on.
They make fun of Alexa, and they go to circle the ring to jump her, and Rhea and Io come out. So a brawl breaks out, and the heels are getting the upper hand, but Charlotte comes out to help Alexa Bliss. She helps up Alexa as Rhea and Io are on the other side of the ring hugging, as it looks like Charlotte is going to suck it up for her best friend and be a big girl and go to work for War Games, man. So, this was the segment we got here today. Again, the Alexa promo, again, I get the point, and I like the point she was going for. It was just very, it just came off very forced. It didn't seem like, it seemed like Alexa was trying to, be upset rather than actually sounding upset. So, there's that. There is that, but, we got, a little bit later in the night with, yeah, I guess this all ties in. So, Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch, trust me, it ties in. Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch have their match, and Becky Lynch is trying to undo the turnbuckle pad. She's trying to cheat. And we get the music of AJ Lee, but we didn't just get the music, we got her. She fucking returned on November 17th in Madison Square Garden, 2 months after we seen her at WrestlePalooza. AJ Lee finally returns to distract Becky Lynch, which Becky's obviously beside herself, and she turns around to a crossbody by Maxine Dupree and a Maxine Dupree victory. And Maxine celebrates with AJ Lee. Following her victory, as Becky Lynch is in the ring, absolutely looking distraught that she just got pinned by Maxine Dupree because AJ Lee cost her the IC Championship, bro. AJ is finally back. Bro, how you feeling?
Dude, I'm very glad AJ is back, and I'm very shocked and intrigued to see, what they do later in the night and what they're setting up. I would not have guessed that. But overall, I love that AJ's back. I like that she's mixing her up with Becky. Although, I will say, as a blanket statement, they should have kept the IC title on Lyra or Bailey. Because, listen, good for Maxine, I guess. I feel nothing when Maxine's on TV. A lot of people are hyping her up, saying this is such a feel-good thing and whatnot. I genuinely feel nothing for Maxine in the most respectful way possible. This title should still be on Bailey and or Lyra or whatever that circle has going for it. Maxine with a crossbody is what does Becky in. I get the AJ interference, but man, right moment, wrong person, in my opinion, man. Overall, though, I'm glad AJ's back. Very interested, when we get to the next part about AJ's reasoning. Even because, we knew the whole time that she signed like a multi-fucking-year deal. So I don't know why later on TV they play it up as like it was going to be a one-time thing, but it isn't, when we knew the whole time it wasn't going to be a one-time thing. But overall, really cool moment with AJ. Very much questioning the Maxine element.
100%. I don't know what she is going to do with that championship other than drop it back to Becky Lynch so Becky Lynch can drop it to AJ Lee. Because to me, it was nothing more than like one of those fluke title wins that they try to do for like a feel-good moment type of thing. Kind of like when Leon Ruff won the North American title from Johnny Gargano. Like just one of those stupid, feel-good title victories. It was nothing more than that to me. Maxine is obviously not going to be any sort of legit IC champion, but Yeah, for that, I don't know why they didn't just have Bailey take it or Lyra take it. Because again, you could have done the same thing you did here without the IC championship, and the IC championship could have, benefited from people to actually hold it and put importance on it, rather than what they did here. But again, in the typical Triple H fashion, I honestly think she's just going to drop it right back to Becky Lynch, just so Becky Lynch could drop it right back to AJ Lee. So that's what I think's going to end up happening. However, I guess it was cool. Again, I don't really expect anything out of it. It was, again, a bit of a lackluster way to end the IC title reign of Becky Lynch, even though it's felt like it's been ended for a while. Ever since they came out of that, Becky and Lyra and Bailey feud, it just felt like everything with the IC championship has went down, which, for a minute, I felt like they were keeping on steady pace with it because AJ stole the belt from Becky Lynch when she came back for like a week or whatever. So, that made me think that, they were going to put importance on this women's IC championship by having AJ go for it. And then AJ disappeared. So hopefully when Becky gets the title back, they will actually have AJ gun for the championship to put some importance on it, because that's what it needs. It needs that level of importance. It needs that level of importance on it. And I think that's what they're going to end up doing, especially if I am familiar with the way that Triple H books things. I think that's what they'll end up doing. But yeah, to be 100% honest, I didn't really care. Like I said, it's cool, but I didn't really care for Maxine, winning the championship. The big thing, obviously, for me here is AJ Lee returning, man. So AJ Lee shed a little bit of, insight on, the whole, return, I guess. Maxine and AJ are in the back, and Maxine is telling Jackie Redmond that winning this championship means that all her hard work has paid off. She says she can say she belongs now. She thanks AJ for the help. AJ says, "No, it was all you, boo." She hates a bully and loves an underdog. Alpha Academy then comes in and they celebrate with Maxine Dupree. Jackie Redmond then asks AJ Lee if she's going to stick around. AJ says, "I returned to help my husband. But Becky Lynch just lights a fire under me that I forgot that I had. She makes me feel things." We then get Rhea Ripley walking up, which, before we get to the Rhea part, thought this was the plan all along? Or, was the fire, did you run out of propane for 2 months? What happened to the fire? What was the reason we sat dormant for 6 months?
The thing, with me for this is it could be annoying when they put the real life factor of things into TV too much. This is one of those times where you really should have. We knew the whole time she signed a multi-year deal and that she was going to be more involved in just that first start. So embrace that the whole time. I don't know why they did it like this.
Me neither. So Rhea Ripley walks up and she asks AJ if she has a second to chat. AJ says sure. Rhea Ripley puts her arm around her and they walk off. So, remember when I told you guys this tied into the whole Alexa Bliss segment from War Games earlier? Well, I think Bailey legitimately isn't going to be the fifth to the Kabuki Warriors team, because I think what they're going to end up doing, which I'm actually okay with. I think it's better than Bailey being on one team and Lyra being on the other, or anything stupid like that. What I think they're going to do is put Becky Lynch on the team with Nia, Lash, Asuka, and Kyrie. And they're going to put AJ Lee on the team of Charlotte, Alexa, Io, and Rhea. Which I actually like. I think that's going to be really cool to get to see AJ interact with Asuka. I think it's obviously going to be cool to see her interact with Becky Lynch. I fear for her to interact with Nia Jax for AJ Lee's health. But it's also going to be very cool to see AJ interact with Io Sky, with Charlotte, with Alexa, and with Rhea Ripley. So I actually am down with it. And again, I actually do like them as, fifth members for the War Games teams. I do like it a lot more than, Bailey actually being a fifth member to the heel team, which again made no sense to begin with, but they're the ones that teased it. So I actually really do like that whole, I really do like that whole idea, and I think I'm interested to see how they make sense out of it. Because again, that was a bit random for Rhea to just walk up and ask her that, because that's a huge problem with the War Games builds this year, is a lot of these people, for as far as recent memory serves us, have nothing to do with each other right now. So I'm interested to see how they make sense out of it, but on paper, I mean, I am cool with it. It's going to be cool to see AJ interact with these people. Again, doesn't really make much sense, and I don't know how they're going to make sense out of it, but I honestly don't think they're going to do a great job at making sense out of it either. But it is going to be cool to see those interactions.
Exactly. Overall, I'm down and very shocked that they're putting AJ Lee in War Games, as her second match back is going to be fucking War Games, which is crazy. But I do like the inclusion of Becky and AJ. I think that's a good, heel and face addition to said teams. And like you said, I like all the interactions that's going to come out for AJ. I think that's really good. And I'm down for it. I'm very excited to see that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So with that, we have the Last Time Is Now tournament. The first match we got on the night was Solo Sikoa versus his mystery guy. It's going to be Edge.
Be Edge.
The mystery guy, I'll say this, I do like this better than Matt Cardona.
Did.
Not that Matt Cardona was bad, I just like it better.
Oh, yeah.
The mystery guy for Solo ended up being none other than the show-off, Dolph Ziggler.
The wanted man.
The wanted man himself, Nick Nemeth from TNA. Dude, hearing that song is a banger. That is an actual real life banger. Love that fucking song. Huge pop for Dolph Ziggler. Amazing to see the guy. I thought this was great. Again, he looked like he fit. He looked like he could legitimately be a member on the roster. I miss Dolph Ziggler in WWE. I do. He's obviously one of WWE's biggest, misuses of recent memory of the last 15 years. He's a huge misuse from them. This guy's an amazing professional wrestler. He's got the look. He's got the ability. He definitely has the ability to sell. Dolph Ziggler is amazing, and I loved seeing him back here again. This was probably my favorite surprise in the Last Time Is Now tournament. I did like the Zack Ryder one. I did like this one more though, man. It was absolutely awesome seeing Dolph Ziggler again, just back in WWE, man. It was awesome. It really was awesome to see him again.
It really was awesome. I think it did well. I did like it more than Matt Cardona. Again, Matt Cardona was good. He was awesome. But this one really just hit, man. Dolph is a beast. Obviously, if you watch the match, he is probably one of, if not the greatest seller of all time, man. And
Man.
goddamn, this is probably the best Solo has looked since since the original Bloodline, dude. Easily, man looked like a beast tonight. Dolph was selling his ass off, dude, and I love this. I thought it was really fucking awesome.
It was. Dolph Ziggler, his first zigzag, the one that he actually hit, got a huge pop. Huge reaction. So Ziggler, he tunes up the band for Sweet Chin music. He misses. Solo throws his foot back on the ground, but he super kicks him. He immediately kicks his foot back up and actually connects. He hits a super kick on Solo. He goes for the zigzag again, but Solo holds on to the top rope. So Ziggler goes flying back. He goes to run at Solo, and Solo hits him with a Samoan spike. And my God, if I missed anything from Dolph Ziggler, it is his sells. He sold the absolute shit out of that Samoan spike. That was one of the better spikes that Solo has done in recent memory, man. That looked absolutely, it looked like it looked like Ziggler had got shot. That was how his body just immediately went limp as soon as he hit him with that spike. Looked absolutely beautiful, man. I loved it. But that got Solo the victory again in what was an amazing surprise. Huge pop from Madison Square Garden, and huge pop for me as well, man. I love seeing Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, childhood wrestler right there, man. So I love seeing him back, and I thought this was an awesome showcase and an awesome surprise.
Thought it really was. I thought it was a great showcase, awesome surprise, and obviously it's more than likely a one-off. But man, I'd be down to see Dolph more in the company for these more one-offs, dude. Put him in the Rumble, put him in random things here and there, man. He looks great, and whoever he's facing is gonna always look even better, dude.
Absolutely. The second match on the Last Time Is Now tournament, Gunther versus Javon Evans.
Man, this is the one. This match is what I wanted from this tournament, and we got it.
But before you got what you wanted in the match, Javon Evans comes out. The lights dim. And we hear the intro to Symphony Number 9, which we're used to seeing, because normally it cuts off and then we hear, Ganta. We did not hear that fucking awful Def Rebel garbage that is Gunther's Ring General theme song. Sir K, what did we hear?
We heard the beautiful Symphony Number 9 again, dude. He has Symphony Number 9 back, dude. He's back. Come on, dog. Holy hell. The prayers have been answered.
It's been 3 years.
3 years.
And we fucking prayed. 3.5 years. Almost 4. This has been 3.5 years, and we used to pray for times like this. Bro, they actually gave Gunther. They actually gave Gunther, you might as well. You actually gave Gunther Symphony Number 9 back. Triple H, Paul, you motherfucker. Good on you, man. Good on you. Now, if we wanted to change the name, you definitely have my blessing. But I get it if you don't. But bro, how awesome is that? This man has his theme song back. Symphony Number 9 returns for the Ring General here. And man, I'm stoked for him, bro. We prayed for 3.5 years for him to get his fucking theme song back so we didn't have to hear whatever that slop was that they gave him. And dude, I couldn't be happier. I am so happy for him. And it was nice. It was nice to see him back. It was nice to see Symphony Number 9 back. He came out looking like he had a point to prove. However, my one little presentation change I wasn't a fan of. What was that bathrobe he came out in? I definitely like the trench coat more.
I like the trench coat way more than that bathrobe, dude. It looked like he was going to get a massage.
Yes, it did. It looked like he was about to fucking go hang out in the jacuzzi. That's what it looked like. I wasn't a fan of that leather bathrobe that he had on. However, Symphony Number 9 is back, and we will worry about that other bridge when we get to it. He'll probably end up going back to it anyway. But
Probably. I'm sure he will.
I love New York. They are such a smart mark crowd. These guys, as soon as this match gets started, start chanting Walter. Bro. You know what to do, Paul. You know what to do.
Imagine him on a promo saying, the Gunther experiment was a success. Gunther was IC world champion, but Walter has not been yet. So he needs to go do those things. Come on, bruh. Come on. That shit would be goated.
Man. That would be a good way to do it. That would be a good way to do it, man. I would love that. This match absolutely slapped. The clashing of styles was amazing. The young upstart versus the seasoned veteran in Walter, the former world champion. Javon Evans goes to do his move where he, jumps up in the air and bounces off just the top rope. So he hits the top rope to a big boot from Gunther. Gunther goes to suplex him, but Javon counters that into a cutter. He goes for the OG cutter. And Gunther, why am I doing, this is getting me. The Symphony Number 9 effect is getting me. Gunther goes to, just when I get used to calling him Gunther. Gunther gives him a chop to the back of the neck, which is a spot that you mentioned you specifically wanted to see, and it actually happened, so I thought that was cool. He gives him a chop to the back of the head, grabs him by his neck in sleeper position, throws him back for a back-to-belly suplex, and gets a sleeper hold in on Javon Evans, and Javon tries to squirm out. He definitely has some life in him for the first couple tries, but Walter kept locking it back in. I did it again. Gunther kept locking him back in for the Symphony Number 9. Really fucked me up, man. It's got me reminiscing. He locked him in for the sleeper hold, and Javon eventually tapped out to the ring general as Gunther advances in the Last Time Is Now tournament. And it is going to be the ring general who sings John Cena's final symphony on his final night. So, yeah, man, that is that. And Gunther came out here looking like he had a point to prove, man. He really did, as he put on a slapper with Javon Evans, and I absolutely loved what they had going on here, man. I thought this was a great match.
I thought it was.
I thought this was a great showcase of Javon Evans, man. So I really enjoyed it, and obviously happy to see Gunther, who I think should be the winner of this whole tournament, advance to the semifinals.
100%. I think Gunther is the obvious, clear-cut winner of this tournament. Clear-cut man to retire the GOAT John Cena. Love that Evans was able to get this great showcase on Raw. He's moving up, dude. He's a beast, and he's going crazy. Loved this match. Loved this dynamic in the match, dude. And dude, Symphony Number 9, man. Oh man, that just fills me with so much joy, man. It really does. Thank God, dude. That is beautiful.
Absolutely, bro. And for the main event segment on the show, we get the heel team of Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed coming out here. You put it in the notes, but why was Logan Paul wearing a bulletproof vest? Was he 50 Cent? But
Why was he wearing like a leather shield vest?
what
What the fuck was that?
is that?
Oh, he looked horrible.
Heyman comes out there and he does his shtick. He's fucking talking about he's rambling on, just trying to fucking fill time. We gotta call him time filler Heyman at this point. He's standing out there, my name's Paul Heyman, his name's Drew McIntyre, his name's Logan Paul, his name's Braun Breaker, his name's... Yes, Paul. We fucking know what their names are. Thank you.
The whole fucking thing.
He says he walked the Samoan SWAT team out for the War Games. He walked the Dangerous Alliance out for the War Games. He walked the Bloodline to the ring for the War Games. But this is the greatest assembly of talent ever put together for the War Games. CM Punk comes out. He's then followed by the Usos, who come out from the crowd. Can they ever just cut the shit and come out from the rampway? I mean, this is War Games. You guys are out in the crowd fucking celebrating.
Dude, lock in. Stand like, I was okay with it because they were surrounded. I would have thought it would have been cooler, if they didn't come together. If they both came from separate sides of the crowd, I think that would have been really fucking dope. I think that would have been a cooler thing. But I get what you mean.
I gotta say too, they weren't yeeting, so I don't think they were yeeting, so I can appreciate that.
No, I don't think they were. I do like that.
Jay's out there in a bucket hat. He looked like an absolute goofball. And then we get this John Cena wannabe. Cody Rhodes comes out there. They all come to the ringside area, surround the ring, and a brawl breaks out. The babyfaces are getting the upper hand as CM Punk is about to hit Logan Paul with a GTS. As he hears the music of Brock Lesnar. I gotta say, personal feelings aside, I love the way CM Punk sold hearing Brock's music. He looked like he was tapped in, and once he heard that music, it looked like a truck hit him. He looked like, oh shit. I'll say that. What I will also say, Brock looked like an absolute beast. I mean, Brock always looks like an absolute beast. The way he came in there and was did you see the way he was throwing Cody Rhodes? I mean, he looked like an absolute fucking monster. And again, I hate that Brock has that blemish on his little reputation. At least for me, he does. Some people know. For me, he has a little bit of a blemish, and I fucking hate that, because Brock's such a fucking awesome performer, dude. I mean, dude, he looked like a fucking monster out there, bro. He did.
He did, and I do like the idea of Brock and War Games,
Same,
especially against this team, man. Just that big blemish, man. And then the stare down they did with a certain person.
We'll get to it,
man.
bro.
Come on.
We got another Brock meme. We got another Brock meme of him suplexing Cody Rhodes and breaking out into one of his fucking one of his voice crack screams. So we got another. But no. Again, putting my personal feelings aside, if I'm looking at Brock from just a performer, I think he's a great performer, man. He really is. That's what sucks about the whole situation. He looked like an absolute monster, and I love the way Punk sold. Again, hearing his music, he looked like an absolute beast. He came out there and absolutely ragdolled CM Punk and Cody Rhodes around the ring. And, you know, one thing I also don't like about this, Cody and Brock were cool the last time we seen them. Brock shook Cody's hand. And here they are, now they hate each other. Don't really get it, but okay. So we have okay, yes. So after he did that, I don't know if anybody noticed this. Paul Heyman on the outside doing that like Brock Lesnar. You know Brock Lesnar, like, he does a little like jump. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Heyman doing that absolutely killed me.
That shit.
Sometimes you just gotta watch Paul Heyman, bro. He'd be doing the most stupidest shit on the outside, and I'm just sitting there like, what is this dude doing, bro? He's hilarious. Brock thinks he won. He's standing in the middle of the ring. He's feeling like the man when he walks through. And then we hear the music for the OTC, the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns, as he comes out there and faces off with Brock Lesnar for the first time in 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
This is the most amount of time we've seen these guys separated, and man, I was happy when I realized, man, we haven't seen these guys face off in 3 years. Wow.
Thank God, because this face off, I was like, bro, y'all acting like this is an actual. They think this is like the best face off in the history. Good Lord.
Vince McMahon was at home like, dude, Rock and Austin, bro.
This. Mm-hmm.
He was like, dude, Cena and Orton. This is Cena and Punk to Vince. So I know one person that was smiling. It was Vince McMahon. But I will say, I'll say this. I'm glad it's been 3 years since we've seen these guys. I could have done without seeing these guys in the ring with each other ever again, but I can at least say it's been 3 years. I'll give them that. So they faced off again. This was definitely not as aura-filled as I think WWE thought it was. They probably do think this is a Rock and Austin level feud. It is not. It's a feud that was good in 10 years ago, in 2015. That was their only good match, in my opinion. However, Roman hits a Superman punch on Lesnar after their face-off. Brock sold the shit out of it. Again, I'll praise Brock again for that. I think he sold the shit out of it. He did sell the shit out of it, man. So I got to give him that. And he sells the Superman punch. That was the last we seen of Brock Lesnar. The next thing made me LOL because Bronson Reed will not let it go. This man jumps in the ring and just starts mauling Roman Reigns. What is this dude's problem with Roman Reigns? I mean, he fucking hates his guts, bro. When I seen Bronson jump in the ring, I was like, ain't no fucking way. I'm like, dude, this is legendary hate at this point.
This man really hates Roman Reigns and really wants them shoes.
It really does, bro. It really does. He goes to hit Roman with a tsunami. Roman hops up and gets a Superman punch in on Bronson Reed. NYPD is trying to break this whole thing up. Meanwhile, Logan Paul is being choked by CM Punk right behind NYPD. Roman Reigns just runs right through them and spears Bronson Reed and 2 other NYPD officers that are on the outside, as this was just pure chaos at the end of the show. Which I gotta say, the crowd was into it. And it was a very fun and chaotic way to end the show, man. There was just so much going on. I don't know what Jey Uso was doing. Maybe he was taking after his fucking cousin and, getting maybe he was drinking off the Prime Hydration cart because he was probably gassed already just off that little small interaction they had there. I don't know where the hell they went. But it was chaotic. It was cool. I get what they went for. The crowd was into it, and it was just a chaotic ending to Monday Night Raw, which again I thought it was fine for what it was, man. So, yeah, I thought everything was good. It obviously sets up all the final members of War Games. Still doesn't make any fucking sense, but I can appreciate the chaotic War Games feel of an ending to the show. So yeah,
Exactly. It was a good chaotic end to the show. Doesn't really make much sense, but it was fun nonetheless.
absolutely. So that was that. As that was your very star-studded ending to Monday Night Raw and that was your not ending. That was your star-studded episode of Monday Night Raw from MSG. I thought it was a great show. It was one of the better and more enjoyable Raws we got to see in a long time. Again, no LA Knight on the show, no AJ Styles on the show, but nonetheless, it was still a very, very good episode filled with a lot of surprises and a lot of cool shit on the show, man. So I can appreciate that. And yeah, I thought WWE did a great job nonetheless. So yeah, shout out to Triple H for actually making an enjoyable episode of Monday Night Raw for the first time in a long time. So that was that. And yeah, again, really minus Nikki Bella, then the show was pretty much, all good. So yeah,
it was most definitely, man.
And yeah, that is everything we got here today for you guys, man. Like I said, Friday's episode of news and Full Gear predictions. It's looking like that is going to be a 12 o'clock noon Central episode of Unscripted. So again, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for another edition of the news, another edition of Unscripted, as this has been episode 274. Thank you guys to everybody in the Replay Mafia and my guys in the live chat, Logan and Mr. Walking Down and Cut These Shiz Off. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for this edition of Unscripted. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And Sir K.
That is going to do it for this edition of NHP. This has been episode 274 of Unscripted. Thank you guys so very much, and we will see you all on Friday, special start time of 12 p.m. Central, with the news and the Full Gear 2025 official show predictions.
Peace.